5 lands. And it looks like 1 card for Casey and a couple cards. So
Was that
in the match we were talking about, Brian actually won 2-1. So the Naya deck will be advancing to the top 4. And Brian Edgar with him. With his trusty Naya deck.
Dang, and I was really hoping. I mean, even to watch, I just wanted to watch Esper one more time, but I guess we'll have to wait till tomorrow. I believe there's an Esper deck in Legacy that we might see.
There might be. So here comes Fiend Hunter. It's going to take the
Olivia Boldarin.
The Falconwrath Aristocrat.
I'm sorry,
yes.
the Falconwrath.
So Casey's going to fall to 4. Let's see. A Blasphemous Act would probably end the game because more than likely. But other than that, we're probably looking at a game 3 outside of Blasphemous Act.
Alright.
If these life totals are accurate, and I imagine they are. 8 life. I don't see a way that Casey can like bring back a Falconwrath Aristocrat and from Fiend Hunter and cast another one.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got in hand. He's keeping it hidden in the shadows there. Oh.
Yeah, even something like a Lingering Souls. Lingering Souls would probably buy him a turn. But
yeah, it looks like he's gonna go with the Lingering Souls.
Actually buys him maybe a couple turns.
Yeah, none of John's guys are really that big.
Except for the frontline medic.
Right, well the frontline medic's
and he's gonna have to block a couple of them because he's only on 4 life. So he has to block at least 2 creatures.
Yeah, so Casey does front side, back side of Lingering Souls, so the full.
So if I'm Casey, I would attack with the 1 Soul Stone. He missed out on a potentially very important point of damage. So John's hand doesn't look great, but very few cards are. In this situation, pretty much only Wolfman Rampager, Kessig Malcontents, and Mayor of Averbrook really change the math on any given turn.
And we've seen Kessig Malcontents do some work.
The little 3/1 Everson Restore draft common that could.
Along with a couple of Cloud Shifts, which seem kind of...
Yeah, there we go. It's on screen. That would end the game at this point.
Yeah. A bunch of humans in play.
Alright, so Casey down to 2. Looks like another frontline medic is going to come.
Yeah, I see Stomping Ground.
Stomping Ground, Boris Elite.
And
that's
medic? Or is
it's either Champion of Paris. Yeah, I'm sorry, no frontline medic, but so no play.
Just Stomping Ground go. And
so I don't know if that's. I actually don't think that was enough pressure, because now John has to. John probably loses if Casey casts Blasphemous Act. Whereas without this Flint Hoof Boar off the top, John was going to have to not pass the turn again.
Flint Hoof Boar though will make the chances of John taking this game 3.
Yeah, I don't see cards in
Casey's hand that can deal with it. I mean, even if he blocks 3, 2 are getting in. And yeah, Casey's gonna scoop him up, check his top card. Probably Blasphemous Act.
Usually is.
Yeah. And going to game 3 here in the quarterfinals at StarCityGames.com. Standard Open, live from St. Louis. I'm Joey Pasco in the booth with Adam Prosak. Giving away 3 months of premium. If you didn't hear our question earlier, it is what format is Grand Prix Miami? And if you know the answer or want to take a guess, you can.
If you don't know the answer, you
should probably just take a guess anyway.
You can find the answer.
Yeah.
Open book test. So let's talk about sideboarding for a little bit.
Yeah, even though that game was obviously
that was game 3.
Sideboard,
so we know that John brought in his Fiend Hunters.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he would or would not. We did. Other cards like the Cruel Charm could be excellent against the Lingering Souls tokens. That's pretty much it. I think John should keep his deck mostly intact.
Very interesting to see Azorius Arrestor.
Yeah. I think John was on one of the rounds that I was with Ruben.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Azorius Arrestor cloud shifted.
Yeah, just to detain.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Detain target creature.
Yeah. One Fiend Hunter main for John, so he's actually up to possibly
up to 3. We drew at least 2.
Yeah, we saw them, and they were instrumental in the win there in game 2.
Yeah, and what are Casey's powerful cards?
Well, as we already know. Oh, actually, we didn't. Yeah, we
have the 4th Blasphemous Act.
Right. As he was hoping to draw there in that game.
2 pillars.
Got a couple pillars. He's
pretty much it. Everything else is very expensive.
Yeah, nothing that's.
His deck are pretty low impact.
Nothing's gonna make his deck.
The Veil.
Right.
It's not where you want to be.
I mean, there's not even a lot of like 1 toughness dudes that Olivia could just decide to
it's
shoot
also
down.
still very mana intensive against a deck that's so fast like John's.
Very lean. Yeah, John's deck super lean, and that's what Casey wants to do here is match up well against that. So not a lot of options.
I mean, one thing is that like Falcon Wrath Aristocrat often seen as too slow for this type of matchup. Many players side it out.
Do you think they side it out entirely, or just maybe shave
some numbers? Like I only see 3 cards that could possibly come in: the Act and the 2 pillars. So like you only have maximum of 3 cards to take out.
Right.
Maybe Casey doesn't want to compromise his late game and brings in like Obsidat over Falcon Wrath Aristocrat. Although we did see at least 1 Falcon Wrath Aristocrat in Casey's deck.
Yeah.
So
and he's got 2 Obsidats main and 1 in the board. So I don't, he may be fine with keeping 2, but 3's real heavy on a 5 drop.
Right. You need it to be really good, and it's not the best possible card. It's the best of his high end cards, I would imagine, but it's not. You don't want that many high-end cards.
Right.
I think if he could get like Blood Artist, Boros Reckoner, those are the best cards in Casey's deck for this particular matchup. So Casey will have the significant advantage of being on the play.
We saw Casey win, out of nowhere with the combo actually earlier.
Yes, Blasphemous Act, Boros Reckoner.
Yeah, 2 Boros Reckoners in that.
He basically did nothing all game.
Yeah.
None of his cards had any impact, but it went Boros Reckoner, Blasphemous Act, game over.
Yeah, it's a scary deck when that's proposition that's something that you can present. And I'm trying to see his hand. He looks like a reasonable mix of lands and spells from what I can tell, but not getting a great look.
John has 2 lands, which is perfect, but he has 4 spells and only 1 creature.
Draws a Searing Spear off the top.
Yeah, this is the absolute worst type of thing you can do with a Naya Blitz deck, in my opinion. John is, if this guy dies, he doesn't have anything.
So Boros Elite, turn 1 from John.
Yeah, John's really compromised his threat density. He's got Searing Spear in his deck, he's got Boros Charm in his deck, he's got Gruul Charm in his deck, all in his hand. No creatures to go with it, except for that one.
Larry's got one.
Drawn off the top. He's going to take 2 life.
Falls to 16 here from his shock lands. And it looks like he's going to go Emissary.
Burning to Emissary. And if this was a creature, this Searing Spear should absolutely be a creature. It'd be so much more threatening right now. And then, like, I think John's doing well to...
yeah, and Casey...
Simply to have the mana to cast his spells.
Casey deals with the Boros Elite with a Tragic Slip, and...
I believe that's a Blood Artist from Casey.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's good. There's also a Boros Reckoner, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
That's pretty impressive at this board. Estate. You gotta go with the Boros Reckoner if you have it.
I'm pretty sure that's a Boros Reckoner. He does also have a Lingering Souls, I think. That right on the top.
That's what he's gonna. Yeah, that's what he's gonna go with. It's not gonna work out too well for him. John has a Gruul Charm to take care of him.
He draws a frontline medic off the top.
He cannot cast it.
Cannot.
So
double Boros Charm.
Now, do you pass or do you just Gruul Charm and attack for 2?
He's gonna Gruul Charm and attack for 2. Yeah, he's just gonna be aggressive. Emissary in for 2. Casey down to 15.
All right, another land for Casey. it's plenty of those. So it looks like Blood Artist, Flashback, Lingering Souls. That's not a bad turn for Casey. This time, if he wants to get into combat, maybe get
loses guys and Blood Artist triggers.
Yeah, get some Blood Artist triggers. The Searing Spear might stop that nonsense for a little bit, but he's still going to clear the board. And if you're sitting on 15 life on turn 4 with a clear board, you are really happy.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost doesn't matter what's in your hand. But
is that an experiment one in John's hand?
Yes.
I think.
I believe. Oh, he took two. He just took 2.
Interesting. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I did not expect that either.
At least, like, do a double block situation where he gets a couple Blood Artist triggers, and maybe forces John to cast a Searing Spear. But no, he's going to go on the offensive.
Yeah, and John didn't cast a spell either.
And we have a Boros Reckoner. Searing Spear on the Blood Artist in response seems good enough.
And Super Saiyan, and we're in Blasphemous Act range.
Yes, we are.
John doesn't have another way to interact with that.
Yeah, a Blasphemous Act.
Yeah, so life total should be 14.
Right, because it was Shockland, double Lingering Souls.
This just in our last match that we have not reported on, Gene Richmeyer defeats David Barani.
Okay.
And Gene will be in our top 4 tomorrow.
Put that one over here.
So that's our spot, and this is our last match.
That was Blitz versus
yes,
Blue,
Gene
White,
playing
mid-range.
yeah, Gene playing Blitz on the draw every game. Yeah, so this is where that spell heavy draw in John's hand is really catching up to him. Casey's just like playing out stuff, and John just has basically he has all closers, no starters. He has 2 Boros Charms that are not bad. They're a lot better when your opponent has been softened up. But
yeah, and he hasn't been able to really soften up Casey, and now John's gonna take 2 more from Lingering Souls.
If you're Casey, do you play Blasphemous Act? The answer is no so far.
Yeah, he's decided not to at this point.
Lingering Souls. Boros Charm U. Casey's now down to 10, but not under any other pressure.
Off the top.
Oh, the Azorius Arrestor.
Not going to do much here.
No. I'm not sure what. Yeah.
Now, does Casey have Blasphemous Act? You see?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay, I haven't had a good enough look to tell if he has that card. But if he does,
that's the ball game.
Next turn, I would think. So Emissary gets in for 2, knocks Casey to 8, and he shows him I have 2 Blasphemous Acts.
He does not have all Blasphemous Acts.
Yeah,
he has 2 Blasphemous Acts.
So there it is, Act 2, and 2 acts to finish off John Milner.
Yeah. So Casey punches the final spot into our top 4. So if we look at our top 4 things, we
got Act 2. We've got Naya Humans,
Naya Blitz. Yeah, Naya Blitz. We also have the Naya mid-range deck.
Wow.
So 2 aggressive Naya decks, but both on very, not different ends of the spectrum, but very different philosophies.
Styles of Naya.
And then we have our American mid-range deck. We saw Grace the Saint Trap
only
deck.
once, but he.
Yeah. We might see him again tomorrow.
Camera
and then our matchups will be, we'll have Gene Richmeyer on the draw against Alex Blackheart. So that's our Naya Blitz deck against our Geist of Saint Draft mid-range.
Right, and so that's the deck. That's the same sort of deck he just beat.
Yes.
So he's got another blue-white red matchup.
Yeah, very similar. I think Alex's deck is way more focused on what he wants to do. He has 4 Geist of Saint Drafts. He has Thundermaw Hellkites to support it. He has Raw Zerix where. So I mean that'll be tough for Gene, but I definitely like Gene to win that as well. Just like he dispatched 1,
right?
He can dispatch another. Now we have the Act 2 deck, Casey Hanford. He will be on the draw against Brian Edgar, who is our Naya mid-range deck.
Right, so now he just defeated a Naya deck, but it was a Blitz version. and in this case he's going to have to play this mid-range version. So it's going to be a completely different matchup, despite the Naya similarities.
So those are our 4 winners.